This is a video on the MOVO SGW-5 chrome counterweights. Now these counterweights are initially for the SG100 and SG300 suitable shoulder rigs, but I have bought these not for a shoulder rig because I do not have a DSLR shoulder rig at all. I haven't got one of them at all. What I bought these for is to support these cameras that I have. Now it's to support this camera, the Insta360 the Insta360 X camera, the DJI Pocket, Osmo Pocket, and my GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now you are wondering at this stage, what is counterweights got to do with supporting these cameras? And I'll tell you why. Is when you go to use this, a tripod and a selfie stick, extendable selfie stick, out in the open, not in an environment like a studio or a room, a closed environment. I'm talking about out in the open, whether it's in a city, country, wherever. This is what I bought this counterweight for, and I will show you that later on in the video, what I'm going to be using the counterweights for. Now I'll just generally do a box unopening, boxing, just to show you what you get in the box. Now I bought this from Amazon warehouse, and I started paying £17.95 for these counterweights. I paid, believe it or not, it's no longer there, I paid about £11.50 for these counterweights. Now these counterweights altogether have a max of 2.1 pounds, which translate just under 1 kilo, because 2.2 pounds makes a kilo, so it's just under 1 kilo. So I say about 900 grams if you want to put it precise. Now I'll do the unboxing because you don't get much on the box, as you can see. Now in the box you get a polystyrene surround, and we'll take out these first. You get the bracket, the mounting bracket, if you was to use a shoulder rig, and that's made out of steel. You get an Allen key along with some screws which are for the Allen key. And then we get the counterweights. Now the counterweights look like so, and each one of them are 300 grams, and obviously states the weights on them and counter. So counter weights 300 grams, and they are chrome with a kind of plastic labels placed on them, but very well made and very solid feeling. And they have inserted in the middle of them is the 1/4 inch screw thread, and if you look closely, the 1/4 inch screw thread has a Allen key center inside at the middle of them, so you can remove them or adjust them. So you get one of them, 2 and 3 of these counterweights. Now, as I said, they are ideal to place this on your shoulder rig if you've got the shoulder rig. Right, so they are ideal for that. But as I said, I've bought this for another purpose. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go outside and show you why I necessarily bought these and how I'm going to be using them. So I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to do the next shot will be me outside showing you them. What I'm going to show you now on this bench in my back garden is that there is a 3-meter selfie pole. I'm using the 3-meter as a good example because one, most people won't have a 3-meter selfie pole stroke selfie stick. So by using the long one, and you can see how it acts with the longest selfie stick you can possibly get with a tripod end at the bottom, we can see how this is going to show. So any selfie stick less than that, you'll be all right. Two, we have got, I can't say the name, but I'll show it you, the Azenda Duo tripod legs, and this is the big version, and I'll leave a link up in the description on this version and the small one, so it's up there. And last we have got there are the counterweights. So this is what I'm going to do. Next, we're going to take the counterweights and we're going to screw 300 grams on. Now, as I said, these counterweights have a 1/4 inch screw there and a 1/4 inch screw there. So next I'm going to replace the other one on there. So now there's 600 grams, and last I'm going to place the last one on there. Now that is 900 grams of weight sitting on these tripod legs. Now bear it in mind, these tripod legs here can take up to a weight of 15 kilos, and these are the large ones from this company, and as I said, I left a description up there, so they can take up to a weight of 15 kilos. So next we're going to screw the selfie stick on. So now we have the selfie stick. I'll do it that way to get it more in shot. We have the selfie stick, the selfie pole or extension pole, the 3-meter one, the counterweights and the tripod legs. Now I'll go over it again. We've got the tripod legs, the counterweights and the selfie pole. That's just the lanyard what comes with the selfie pole. I could have took that off, but I left it on. So now that is sitting on that base there, and that is the counterweight holding this pole. And now I'm going to put at the top of the pole, I'm going to place the camera on there. Now I'm going to place my Insta360 camera on there first. Now today is windy, it's a Sunday and it's in June and it's quite bleak, and I think it's going to rain soon, and it is windy. So now the camera is on top. I'll pan up slowly and there's the camera on top of the pole. Now I'm going to extend the pole. It's a bit invisible amongst the background, but once I walk over to it you'll see it. And now I'm going to extend the pole right to half of its length, just to show you. So half of its length is going to be probably 1.5 meters, or between 1.5 meters to 2 meters. Okay, I'm going to try and do this video as quick as possible. Now, as you can see, I've extended this to over 2 meters. It's not the full 3 meters because it's starting to rain and I don't want to leave all my equipment out in the rain. And as you can see, that pole is steady and there is a wind blowing. You can probably tell by some of the bushes and the trees if they're in the background. But that pole now in the wind is quite steady. And as you can see, my Insta 361 is on top and that is quite steady there. So that counterweight is doing its job. So if you are using a pole even less than this and you've got the counterweight on the bottom, that ain't gonna fall over. So I'm gonna go in now because now it's starting to rain. Okay, now I'm running between shots because it's kind of dewing. But now at the top here, I've got my Insta 361X on this pole. The pole is slightly a bit longer because I had to go in. And as you can see, there is a breeze blowing. You can see at the top of this bush here and that other bush over there, as you can see, there is a wind. You can see it, probably see it in the background if the camera's picked it up. There is a wind blowing and that is holding. So unless it's a gale force wind, there's almost, as I said, 900 grams weighted down on this, is holding down on this stick. So it's weighting the tripod legs down here. So 900 grams plus the weight of this selfie stick, which is almost, I'd say almost a kilo, is weighted that down. So that's the Insta 361X, and I'll bring it closer to the camera to show you that, to prove that's my 1X on there. I'll try and get it into the camera as much as possible, but there's my Insta 361X. So now I'm going to put the Osmo Pocket on there to show you. Now my Osmo Pocket is on there. I'll try and get it into the picture, but as you can see, the Osmo Pocket with the Polar Pro frame mount is on there now on this selfie stick, and I'm going to put it back in the same position, so bear with me. Okay, like I showed you, the Osmo Pocket is on there. So that's the Osmo Pocket on the top, and it's in the Polar Pro frame mount, and as you can see, it is on the same selfie stick. I haven't adjusted the height. It's still at the same, just over 2 meters tall. It can stretch out to 3 meters, but I've just to get it in the frame of the camera, I left it at over 2 meters, because if I take it any higher, I'll have to go back further, because I am using my iPhone 7 Plus to do the film. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a breeze now. The breeze has gone down a bit, but as you can see, I'm giving it a knock and that's not going over. So, and that's with those tripod legs what I showed you earlier on in the video. If you've got longer tripod legs that spread out even more, these counterweights would even do an even better job. But as I says, you have to really give it a good old knock, and just there to really knock it over. So obviously somebody walking past and gives it a good old knock, it will fall over. But as it is, in a breeze, it will hold its own with that counterweight there. So now the last camera I'm going to put on there is a GoPro Hero 7 Black, just to show you with that camera on there. GoPro Hero 7 Black camera, and it's on the selfie pole, and I'm going to show you again using this camera. Okay, here's my GoPro 7 Hero Black, and it's on this pole. Now I'm sorry about that, you can just about see the pole because the bushes in the foreground is almost covering up the pole. The best day would have been on a sunny day, but it's overcast today. As you can see, the Hero 7 Black is on this pole. It is a breeze, if you can see that in the shot, if you can get them in the shot, if it's in the shot, especially that bush, more or less that one, there is a wind blowing still, and that counterweight is still doing its job. Now bear it in mind, which I haven't told you, that the paving slabs in this part of the garden are not as flat, they're not all even. There is some discrepancies between some of them. So, but as you can see, the 900 gram counterweight is doing its job. So I think this is a very good idea if you're going to take shots to get this counterweight. But as you can see, the camera's on there now, and as I said, I could extend this even further up. I'll try and do that, but and see if I can try and get it in the shot for you. Okay, now I've extended the pole even more taller. It's almost 3 meters. It's not quite 3 meters, but it's almost 3 meters. And as you can see, way up the top there is the GoPro Hero 7 Black, way at the top. And there is a bit of a shake, which you're going to get anyway, because as the pole goes further and further up in sections, the sections get smaller and smaller. So you expect a bit of a wobble in there. But because the GoPro Hero 7 Black and the Insta cameras and the Osmo Pocket have good stabilization, so that wobble would just be counted out, and it would be a still shot. I tried to move the pole, and I've moved back my camera a bit more, and I've tried to put the pole between the bushes here so you get the white background of the clouds to show you the height. But it is very, very high, and just to prove it to you, I will get on this chair and it's still, I'm on this chair, and I'm 5'7", and I'm on this chair still, and I still can't reach the top of that camera. So it just goes to show, obviously if you've got a remote or you set your recording on a timer, you'll be all right. So as you can see, this is the longest pole you're probably going to ever put it on, if you do get one of these 3 meter poles. So as I says, anything less than this just goes to show this, having these counterweights on the bottom, the stability you're going to get even with some wind. And as I said, it's gone down to, well, virtually down to a light breeze now. There's still some trees over there which you won't get in the shot. You won't get it in the shot, but they're still moving. And the tops of these conifers are still shaking, so there is a bit of a breeze, but there's a slight, very, very slight swaying on here. But as I says, the 900 gram counterweight plus the weight of the pole as well, so about a kilo, is keeping this steady. Now I'll just put that back. As I says, if you can get even longer, wider feet, it's even better. The stability be even more greater, especially with this counterweight on there. So I'll take it back in, do one more shot of the inside, and actually just before I do that, what I'll do is I'll put the Insta 360 pole on here, with the 900 grams of counterweight on there, with the Insta 361 X, just to show you by using that pole the stability you still get. So as I says, you're getting good stability, and this is almost the 3 meter pole. It's a 3 meter pole, but I haven't got it at the 3 meters. Okay, now this is my Insta 361 X, and now it's on the Insta. And I'll turn that round. It's on the Insta selfie stick, as you can see, and this is only, I think the total length of this is probably about 1.5 meters or around that in length, and as you can see, that is absolutely stable. See? Now, as I said, it'll have to be a hurricane wind or a very, very strong wind to knock this over. Obviously, if people, if you're in a crowded area or area with people, you're going to get somebody who might bounce into this. So bear that in mind, please. It's not that foolproof that somebody hits into this and it's going to stand up like a brick wall, because obviously if somebody wait to somebody hitting oh, and that's dropped in there, sorry about that. Wait to somebody hitting this, it will push it over. But for wind, for breeze, a light breeze, medium breeze, and even a strong breeze, you would be okay with that. You would be okay with that. But as I says, always do a test first when you're setting it up. Set it up, keep at least arm's length to grab it, and watch it even in a strong breeze to see if it would go over. But I doubt it very much, especially with the counterweights on there. Now, if you aren't going to take it out in a stronger breeze, I suggest buying 2 packs of these. So you got almost 2 kilos sitting on these legs, because as I said, this particular tripod leg, now as you can see, and I showed you with the demonstrations outside, these counterweights are absolutely perfect for your pole, the extension pole or selfie stick that you put any of your cameras on. As I says, any of your cameras, your Insta 1X, your Insta 361X, Insta 361, your GoPro cameras, your DJI Osmo Pocket, and any other camera, any other action camera. It doesn't have to be necessarily them, or any other 360 cameras. This is a good weight to put on your tripod legs, and as I said, the bigger the legs and the more they can spread out, even more stability it's going to have on the ground when holding your pole, especially when it comes to any kind of breeze. And as I said, they're so easy to dismount, to take apart. They're just simply 1/4 inch threads that are on them, and you simply just turn them. Sorry, my hands are a bit greasy. Simply turn them, and then that's it. So that is my video, just showing how to stabilize your selfie stick or selfie pole or extension pole for your camera when you're out filming out and about and there may be a breeze or a bit of wind. These counterweights, even though they're not meant to do that, they are meant to be for a shoulder rig, but you can still use them. Anyway, if you like this video, do me a favor, please like, please subscribe, and leave a comment down in the comment section. Thanks very much.